Hey, what's going on, everybody? And tonight, or this afternoon, whenever you guys choose to watch the rebroadcast of this illustrious show, we're going to discuss something interesting. And I think that, and based off of why we discussing this show, this topic is going to be interesting. So this is going to be Spontaneous Perspective, Volume 2, Relationships, Trust, Integrity, Honor. And
Mm.
all three of us here. All three hosts of the show is here, and this is it's a good thing because this is definitely spontaneous. This show.
Indeed, indeed. Hey Q, how are you?
What's up, y'all? What's going on?
Hi
How's everything
guys.
going?
Good. What's up, Carm? What's
Hola.
up?
How y'all
Y'all
doing?
ready?
I'm ready.
I'm
I'm
good.
ready. I,
I'm
I have a lot
good.
to say, I think.
Everything good? Well, I,
Good.
I saw something 2 days ago on Twitter, and the young lady tweeted, and I truly apologize to the young lady that I can't give her name, but she tweeted something very interesting. I want to center that around our discussion. She's tweeted that she was getting tired of seeing men having podcasts about relationships,
Mm.
and they should do more podcasts about wealth building. I
Mm.
thought
Mm.
it was interesting that she said that. I'm not saying she singled out men or she just used men or whatever, but I want to discuss relationships and why I believe there's so many podcasts, so many discussions around relationships.
Mm.
41% of first time marriages are ending in divorce. All
Mhm.
three of us have been in that situation. So I
Mhm.
think that it's very interesting that we're at a certain point in our lives and at our age where we're, for the most part, trying to figure it out. Most people in their mid 40s, mid 30, 35 to 50, I would say, are experiencing, as we would say, a second phase of life.
Mhm.
So, trying to get the next relationship to be the final relationship, so to say, or trying to get an understanding of having a happy relationship, I think is paramount. This is why I think most shows and most conversations are centered on this. So, without further ado, what are you guys' perspective on relationships? And we'll discuss some things in reference to men and women going forward.
It's so funny you say, oh, go ahead, Monica.
No, I said no. Go ahead. I was gonna say you go first.
Okay. Well, it's funny you say that because I was thinking today, I want to love somebody now. Like, I think that in a relationship, you should want to know that person, want to know what makes them tick, wants to know, want to know. You have to learn them all the way around, 360, if you want to. Like, you have to want that. So I think relationships are important. Um, all relationships. I only want people around me that I know them. If I'm hurting, I don't have to say anything. They already know. They already know what to do. And I want to be that person too to other people. Relationships are, yes.
Reciprocating type of love is what I'm hearing. Okay. In regards to the tweet from the young lady, I think the reason why men are choosing to do that is because they're looking to heal, but they're trying to find their own safe space in doing so. They tend to have these barbershop talks. They tend to have like these little guy gatherings, whether they're going to the bar or whether they're sitting around smoking a cigar and drinking or just kicking back at the halftime of a game or something. Um, Guys try to be macho and put it in a platform where they can be macho, but not in a platform where they could really be safe emotionally and talk about it. The headspace that I'm in right now, I'm a novice at it. I'm actually still going through the process. And I am learning a lot about myself in the midst of going through this process. And with the poetry that I'm writing, with some of the photography that I'm capturing, and I mean literally sitting at this desk right now with the lights down low, getting the true picture of who I am in the midst of me going through the separation, in the midst of me transitioning from a wife to a single parent, in the midst of me just overall transitioning to be a better person. Because, I don't look at my divorce and my separation as a failure anymore. I look at it as a season. That was a season that was in my life. And now I'm approaching and, walking into a new season of my life. And it is okay. It's okay to not be okay. It is okay to be, upset. It is okay to just go through life and feel things, but it's how you handle the things that you feel. And I think that's where, to bring it all the way back to the beginning, where men are trying to get to that safe space of their emotions. And financially, I mean, a guy feels like he has to provide. So hopefully we can in the future see some podcasts around, financial wellness from a man's perspective.
One of the
They have them.
go ahead. You was about to say something, Carmen?
No, they do have them. They have podcasts that are about financial, financial uplifting of our community, how to save money. They have, I'm talking about, they have them high level conversations.
I
You
do
know,
think
it's a couple
when
of them.
when you speak on that, Carmen, Earn Your Leisure, the brothers that do the
Earn your leisure.
podcast, Earn Your Leisure, and Wall Street, the brother Wall Street Trapper. Those are very good podcasts. Very three individuals, and also Tony the Closer, four individuals. I think that are really trying to get people to understand the financial aspect of what's going on in wealth building. However, because of our topic tonight,
Mhm.
um, there's a meme that says they make it seem that it's men versus women, but in actuality, it's you versus your past trauma. Um,
Mm.
I find myself to be one of those people that always I hate the gender war, the men versus women thing. So this topic and this and that meme really hit home for me, and to be able to discuss this means a lot because I do believe that it was some things strategically placed as barriers to make us look at each other as the enemy. Feminism, um, disenfranchisement, a whole bunch of other things. But I want to discuss something in reference to uh, attacking the direct tweet, not her per se, but the direct tweet and what Monica you said and Carmen. I know that we discussed this a lot behind the scenes, and I want to talk to you guys about brokenness, not being broke, brokenness in men,
Mm.
and seeing it
Mm.
because I think it's important that we discuss that when we see other men. I know I have an obligation as another man. If I see a man broke, how to combat it, how to not, as we would say, trauma bond it, but how to give him advice. What would be what is you guys' outlook when you guys see broken men, when you see them just broken?
Mm.
Me personally, I it hits me different. I care about, maybe it's because of my upbringing around brothers and my dad and things like that, uncles. But to see a man broken is heartbreaking. And it's even worse when they don't know it, or they don't acknowledge it, or they don't want to share it, or they're so prideful that nothing's wrong. But
Mhm.
you can see it. It's written all over them. So it hurts. It's a hurt piece. And I feel like we just have we need togetherness, and we need to try to find a way to help each other. We all need help. And I think if we just speak on it, come on, a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Very true. Very true.
It's not easy. I'm sure it's not easy. Go ahead, Monica.
No, I mean, I think some guys think that it's easy for a woman to be vulnerable, but to have a man be vulnerable, um, I feel like men are only vulnerable with their aggression. Like, I'm the man, this is how I do it. But when it comes to true emotional vulnerability, like, God, she broke my heart. I can't believe like I feel like this, or that was my dog and he's gone. Like I can't, men need a safe space. And I don't know where that safe space is other than, finding a really good male companion or friend. Um, but you got to know your crew too. Um, I really think that, like Carmen said, seeing a guy broken is hard. I don't know how some therapists do it, to see a whole grown man break down in treatment or in therapy. Um, but there has to be some collective of a safe space for them to go to, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a men's group. I know they have AA, NA, but some way, somehow, there has to be something. And hopefully, those out there who are looking or who are watching could put that down in the comment section of where some men can go, because I think men are definitely in need.
And if you're broken like that,
Hmm.
and then you're in a relationship, you're already broken.
Hmm.
You're already broken. You already tore up, and you have this mask, right? And then you're with this other person. She's already tore up. She has this mask. Like that is so dangerous. It's
What about,
dangerous.
let me ask you guys, and I have to try to paint a picture of scenarios to really try to get to identify, because I am a man. I do believe that experience is the best teacher sometimes, and you got to go through to get through. So with that, I'm coming to you guys as a broken man. You guys see me broken. You see me all tore up, can't concentrate, and you see it, and it's emotionally tearing. However, you want to keep the friendship strictly platonic.
Hmm.
And me, I'm looking at it like, okay, I got all this stuff going on. I got a good job, to take care of myself and be able to take care of the woman I desire. However, my brokenness comes from not being able to find that mate. And yes, as women, you guys are trying to be my friend and keep it platonic, but then I start looking at you as my healing, as the ultimate fixer. And it's just not that type of party. And now my need for you is not from a friendship perspective. My need for you is coming to you to try to fill a void. How
Hmm.
can you help, in you guys' estimation? How could you help me, but still keep that boundary up? Like, yo, dude, we're just friends. I'm not trying to be there for you. You do check all the boxes of a good man. However, your mate is not me. Your mate is out there, but it's just not me. And then, as we see sometimes in certain scenarios, that brokenness turns to anger,
Hmm.
because we see it with these young guys. They run around a female. They see a female that they desire. Hey, how you doing? I'm just giving an example. Hey, how you doing, ma? Oh boy, here we go. And now you tell him that you're not interested, and now that brokenness turns into anger. What would
Mhm.
you guys suggest? You guys are your mothers, sisters. You guys got male friends. Like, what would you suggest?
I think the key word you said is boundaries. You have to set those boundaries. I know of a friend who is a friend of a friend, and the guy ended up catching feelings, and the female friend had to let the male friend know, listen, you're in a situation. I know you are broken in your situation, but let's make these boundaries very clear and concise. I am not going to, I will be a support, but I emotionally, I'll be a support. Physically, I'm not going to be a support. So let's cut all of that off first. Um, Understanding that some guys and some women are guilty of catching feelings because they are so broken and because they're so vulnerable. um, they blur the lines a little bit, and then it has to the accountability has to fall on either party. Okay, I'm blurring the lines. I feel like, maybe I need to step back a little bit. Maybe I need to take a step back because I'm feeling like I'm too emotionally, like you said, the trauma bond. Like I'm bonding to you too much, and it could affect my relationship. So, I think boundaries is the very first thing that needs to be established. But also to be real, what does the cliche, or not the cliche, the statement, to thine own self be true. You know that if you looking at that dude like, yo, that dude, he really got my back. Oh crap, but he's in a relationship. You know what? I need to fall back. But that level of comfortability then supersedes the boundary, and then that's how we end up in trouble.
Mm.
I agree. I agree 100%. Um, yeah. It's okay. Repeat the question one more time.
What do you think you can do to keep the friendship platonic when he's broken from one situation, but like, yo, checks all the boxes. He's a keeper. But you have to keep this friendship platonic so he can heal, get where he needs to get to. And you may have something going on. How do you maintain, or how would you maintain that balance if you were in that situation?
I would tell him. I would tell him. I'd be honest with him. I tell him all sides. I'd be completely honest. And I would let him know that his healing is more important because two broken people, or if one person is healed and the other person is broken, if you're broken, you can't really contribute too much to the relationship. You can contribute things, but not what maybe not what I need, or not what the other person needs. So I will remain myself. I would. I'll remain myself, still be around him. If he crossed any lines or anything like that, it's a wrap. And I don't know what
Now,
to tell him after that.
I always want to throw a wrench in the game, ask a crazy question that may catch people off guard. What I'm gonna ask you two ladies, what do you guys want from a good man? What do you guys definition of a good man, a quality man, or as people would say, a guy of your desire, a guy who checks the boxes for you. What is the overall consensus of what women want? We all know everybody's different and has a different perspective or different expectation or requirement. But what would be the consensus in you guys' opinion on what women want?
Monica,
I don't know. I'm a lesbian. It's like, nah, I'm just playing. I was trying to throw y'all off. I don't know right now. I think right now I am truly focused on me. I am focused on my healing. And when my heart is ready to go into that realm again, I think that um, my heart will know what it wants. But for right now, there is a lot of open heart surgery that is going on right now. Some of my articles need to be fixed, or arteries need to be fixed. Um, I don't know. I think reciprocation is a very big one. Consistency is a big one. Effective communication is a big one. And I'm just going based off of friendships right now, not so much, what I'm looking for in a man. I just think in general, if you learn how to be a good friend, then moving forward, you will know how to be a good partner, a good spouse. But those are like the three main things right now in a friendship that um, I'm trying to take into consideration.
me, I want to have. I would like someone that we have a complete understanding of each other. Um, like an unspoken communication. I want someone that's going to help push me to get to where I want to go, and I want to be able to push them. You know what I'm saying? Like I want a partner. I want somebody like if I slip, they're going to be able to catch me. I don't want no drama. I don't want no bullshit. No bullshit. I don't want any of that. I want somebody is that can understand that it's okay to be vulnerable. This is a safe space. It's me. You know. I want someone that's genuine. I can go on and on and on and on and on. Now I can, but before I couldn't. I didn't know what I wanted. So yeah, we can talk
One of
about
But
the
my question, wait a minute, Q. You Q and us, but we got to come back to you. What do you
oh,
want?
yes.
one of the overall, and I'm not disregarding your question. Your question actually ties in with what I'm about to say. One of the overall things that I've noticed in men and women is, and this is could be a good thing or a bad thing. Good thing for me at my age is you have to have a total lack of awareness. You have to understand who you are, what you are, and what you're trying to do in life. And this allows you to, whether you want to be someone, as as the younger generation likes to say, they're fluid. Everything is fluid. What they do,
Mm,
career,
mm-hmm,
relationship, lifestyle, whatever. I'm not here to pass that type of judgment on them because
mm-hmm,
truly I was once young and I felt that way with certain aspects of my life. And then
mm-hmm,
you get older and you mature, so you start to see things different from a different lens.
mm-hmm,
However, one of the things that I'm big on now is being totally self aware of everything that I do.
mm.
Every decision that I make is about being aware. I believe
Okay.
that being aware is one of the first things that you have to do is focus on yourself. Focus
Mm-hmm,
on what you need to do to be a better person, to be able to look at things from a perspective of being objective. I'm not always objective with everything, but overall, I'm a very objective person. I look at things for what they are. What's in front of me is in front of me.
mm-hmm.
You believe what you see with your eyes, and then you work off information after that.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I look at relationships. I believe that some of the biggest obstacles for men and women when it comes to relationships is having that baggage. We can
Mm,
say we healed, for lack of better words, and you see a lot of times. And it's funny that you said you played Monica and you said something about lesbian. You see nowadays that a lot of people in the LGBT community, I don't see the hatred when it comes for the opposite sex. The sex that they've left, the sexual preference that they left, or the same sex that they left for the sex that they now do, which is weird
mm,
because you would think that because of that person chooses that lifestyle that they hate the opposite sex. But the contrary reason is you see a lot of people that are quote unquote heterosexual men hate women to the point where they
mm,
say, I don't hate women. Women don't listen. They hard headed. They just need to listen. But you want to be with a woman, and vice versa. A woman
mm-hmm,
will go all day man bashing, but then say they want a quality man. So
mm-hmm,
Exactly.
I think that a lot of times we could say that we're over, as we say, who hurt you,
mm-hmm,
and in all actuality, we're not over it. We want to be over it, but we're not over it. So we're so bitter. So now we're taking that baggage, taking all that extra stuff, all that unresolved issues, and projecting it onto the next person who has
mm-hmm.
nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Indeed.
And that projection, that anger, that resentment, that bitterness you put on that person, and then if they have any form of characteristic towards any form characteristic that reminds you of the person who hurt you, now you looking at them with the crazy eye. For example,
Mm-hmm,
if you young ladies were dealing with a guy who loved sports and he was so much engulfed with sports that he forgot his responsibilities to you and the family, sort of say. So you got the next guy and y'all out on a date or whatever, and he just be like, "Oh, I watch sports." Bing, trigger. And he may not even be into sports that way, or he may know how to juggle his responsibilities in sports. and now, but we get so triggered that because he said he likes sports, now you're looking at him like, oh, he's a clown. He's
Yeah.
just like the
Mm,
last dude. He
Yeah.
don't know how to fulfill his responsibilities.
Yeah.
So I
mm,
think that's one of the major issues with this gender war that is real. Um, I believe that this is one of the core issues with the gender war is that we know it was some outside, like I said in the beginning, there was some outside influences. However, there is some internal lack of responsibility, lack of accountability that goes on that I don't like the way that this female treated me in the past. She did me dirty, but I'm not able to keep it on her.
mm.
Now I have to take it to the next person I'm dealing with.
Talk about it.
But
Talk
I
about it.
keep saying I healed. And I know, oh, I'm happy go lucky, but internally you don't heal. And this goes back to, do our experiences make us who we are?
Mm,
Now, I don't know if that's true. I know that I learned better from experiences and through theory too, because I'm a reader, someone who reads a lot, someone who understands and be able to look at information and get my own assessment. But that's the reality. Do our experiences make us who we are?
I don't think so.
mm,
You know, I think I think our experiences bring us back to who we're supposed to be. Like, you know, because we're taught certain things. Learned behaviors, traumas. Throughout our lives, and I feel like all those traumas, all those headaches, all those hiccups, all of that stuff that you can overcome is just bringing you back to your true essence of who you are.
Well, let
So
me. Well,
you got, you
Carm,
got to go. You got to go inside to heal.
y'all know how we do. We keep it 100 with each other. We keep it 100 with the people who choose to watch our show and support us. Carm, let me ask you a specific question. Do you think that because you're such a great nurturer, that that's a gift and a curse for you?
Yes.
Explain.
Well, for me, I had to learn to shield myself because although I want to help everybody, you want to help everybody, you want to do this, you want to do that. With the good, it's always a balance. So with the good, there's the bad. And I had to learn, like I said, I had to learn to guard myself, but at the same time, I can't help but to help. So I think for me, learning my feelings, like my vibes, like if something ain't right, nah, I'm good. So I'm learning how to say no. And I think when you're a nurturer, a nurturing person, you want to help, but really, you want to say yes to everything, and you want to make everybody feel okay and all that stuff, but then you're not happy. You're happy doing it, but you ain't happy. You're not happy.
Yeah,
like it's fulfilling.
the reason why I asked that, because and it all ties into what we were discussing and dealing with that brokenness, because not only do a lot of women see broken men, a lot of men, from a woman's perspective, from what I see, a lot of men know how to prey on broken women. And
Mm,
I think to a certain aspect, I don't know if that's intentionally. I know that sometimes some of us have the characteristics of always throwing our cape on and always coming to save a situation. Like, I know she needs me. Her need for me would validate my life and my position in her life.
Mm,
And
mm,
I think that that's very dangerous,
yeah.
because then, like, going all the way back to our private conversation, which is perfectly fine to talk about it on air, is the individual who knows that they check all the boxes, but they don't understand why they're, for lack of better words, alone.
mm.
And then you dealing with Carmen. You had dropped the younger generation,
I heard you though.
a younger guy or a younger female. The way they think, and I'm not saying all of them, but from what I see, the way they think is when they know they check all the boxes, they ain't trying to get tied down to being specific. They ain't they doing them as for lack of better words. It's the
Hmm.
older ones, our generation, some of them who feel like I'm at a point in my life where I want to share the rest of my life with someone else. I check all the boxes. I don't know why I'm not in a relationship, and I think that is the overall question issue of damn, I'm in my mid 40s and I'm by myself. What the fuck?
Yeah, that hit. Yeah, that hit. I understand that. That hit me the other day. I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, but I do this and I'm that and I'm da 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 da. Like, how come I can't? So I get it, and it's on both sides. But to hear a man, you know, say that, it just hits different.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
It just hits different, man. I don't know.
Mhm. I'm happy
One
I'm
of
not in my
one
40s yet.
one one one
No,
of one of
whatever, Monica. Whatever. You go be silly.
one of the things is that what keeps a lot of people, and I'm not justifying or saying why a person would be saying I'm 45 and I can't find nobody and this that and a third, because sometimes life is more important than anything. Taking care of your kids, taking care of your family. So you'll put yourself to the back burner, which is perfectly fine if that's what you choose to do, because that is a choice. Being in a relationship is a choice. Being a parent every day is a choice. You don't have to do none of that stuff. You can be a father or a mother, but being a parent is a choice. So
Mm.
I think that we have become enemies, unfortunately, men and women, but the enemy is really ourselves.
What about the fact that it just may not be the time, the season for a relationship? Like I know you were talking about parenting, but it just
But
may not
why, Monica?
be.
I got it going on. I got a good job. I'm nice looking. I could take care of you, and if we have multiple kids, I fit all the boxes. I don't want to hear that season stuff. Why?
Well, what are
It's
you
just
doing wrong?
right. It could be something that
I'm
you're
not doing
not.
Since you
nothing wrong.
checked all the boxes,
I
you check
believe
the
I
boxes.
I no, it's not fair. I believe
You know
that
what?
I owe this and I need to be in I want to be in a relationship now. I want my mate. Why
So
not
why don't
me?
you? Okay.
It's not time.
So no, you know what? Forget the fact that it's not time. Maybe you need to look in the mirror and do some real serious soul searching
Mm.
and see what the problem truly is. Maybe you're giving off a vibe of oh my god, it's on
Thirst,
the tip
a
of my
vibe of thirst.
yes, yes, you are beyond thirsty, honey. You
Mm.
need to stand in front of that mirror, and if your mirror is in front of the sink, get you a cup of water and really look at yourself. Quench your own thirst. See what
Mm.
it really is that's within on the inside of you, of why you're so thirsty, why you desire to be what you're desiring so bad. What is that drives you to want to be in a relationship so bad?
Mm.
If you're that good of a person, then go date yourself. Go turn it back to yourself.
Mm.
You have to do that inside work. I'm sorry, I love Iyanla Van Zandt. I will say it. You have to do your work. You want to be in a relationship so bad. Can you stand and look at the mirror in the mirror and say, look, boom, this is what's going on with me. These are the things that I need to focus on. So if him or she should come into your life, I'm good. I got myself situated. I have acknowledged all of these issues that's residing within me. This is how I'm handling it. And I have gone and I've done my work. I have gone to therapy. I have addressed my issues, past, present, and future goals. Like you have to really focus on those things. And there are things that are deep down rooted within us, our DNA, the way that we do things, the way that we think, the way that our perspective on things, it's all deep rooted. So if you look inward, then outwardly you will be able to exude, I'm ready for this. Not
I
that I'm
got
thirsty. Bang. Like you got to look with on the inside. And I know I am guilty of it. I have pushed away, oh well, maybe that's how that person feels about me. No, Monica, you stand your fat ass in front of that mirror and say, this is what you need to work on. You got an attitude problem. You don't know how to talk to people. When you get frustrated, what is the main thing that you need to do?
Mm.
Or if you got a substance abuse issue, oh yeah, you don't know how to, if you go out, you don't know how to fall back, and to the point where you go out with somebody and now they dragging your ass home because
yeah.
you don't know how to. There's a lot of inside work that goes into what is rolling across the marquee: trust, integrity, and honor. Honor yourself, have integrity within yourself. There's a lot of things that's deeply rooted that we have not taken out our little flashlight and we have not shown on ourselves. And it takes a lot of work.
An
And you
emotion,
should not,
an,
yes, you
an emotional X-ray.
all the above. Yes, I like that. Emotional x-ray. There is a lot. Hey, do an MRI, do all of that CAT scan. Like
It's
truly do.
important.
You got to do
So,
your work.
so, so, Carm,
Yep.
Monica gave us a lot to go with there. Excellent answer, excellent perspective.
Yes.
So now, look, we're just going to use me for an example. Let's say I'm that guy friend who's coming to her like, yo, like what? I don't. But now I'm coming to you, and I'm a different aspect of the guy. Shit, Carm, I got it going on. I'm doing my numbers. I'm running these broads in and out my house every day. Damn commitment. I'm 48 years old. Why would I be committed to anything? I'm lining them up and knocking them down.
Mm.
All in boxes at the house.
Help
Shoot.
me, help me. If you're coming from, yo, you getting a certain age, you need to start looking at yourself different. You need to start being a little bit more. I'm not going to say a person that's dealing like that is not responsible, but as reckless, so
But
to
what
say.
if he's happy that way?
I listen.
Oh,
You're giving me advice because
uh,
I am happy that way. I'm happy. I'm mowing them down. I'm lining them up, mowing them down. And you're like, look, explain how you would approach that type of individual
With that
with
mind frame.
trying to get to understand commitment and why they need to live a less reckless life.
well, I probably would say to him, see, it depends. It just depends. It depends because we can go a lot of different ways. But if I know him and I know deep down that this is all a facade, he really wants to say, he really wants to settle down, because I think a lot of times that's really what it is. And I think I think that when people got to has to hop around like that, they um they don't feel good enough. Like they don't feel. I think it's like an ego booster.
Mhm.
Um, or they might have parental issues. Maybe their mother wasn't there, or maybe their father wasn't there, or maybe I just try to look at things like it has to be a reason this nigga, you know what I'm saying, got all these females coming in and out the house. And I would say, ain't you tired? Are you
No,
tired?
no.
Are
I'm
you not?
in my I'm in my prime.
All right, so
That
what is
thing
it
ain't
that you? So
through.
what else is that? So then I would say,
Literally.
all right, so if you're fulfilled, right? You're fulfilled with all these women will come in and out of your house and all that, right? And you got all this bread, you got all this money, you're fine financially. What else is it? What else?
I'm your
What else?
Carm, I'm your neighbor. I got one every coming through every day. I got
Trifling,
my Tuesday one, my
trifling.
Wednesday. It's Thursday afternoon, and Thursday 5:30.
It's going
She
down.
gonna be coming through,
You know
and
what?
you see me taking the garbage to the compactor or to the whatever they call it, the disposal thing, and you just be like, and I'd be like, hey Carm, how you doing? And you be like, 5:30. It's almost that time.
Word.
He's walking STD. What
How,
the
how
Yeah,
hell?
you?
you know what? Honestly, if I wanted to be smart, I would try. I'll block them all. Like I'll just cock block. I mean, not cock block. Is that the word to use?
I mean,
Yeah, the blocker.
you
I
you
would try to do something to
in
get him
in
to
all in all
deviate.
actuality, as my neighbor and my friend, there is no way you know what type of guy this guy is.
Okay.
There is no way you could cock block unless you're gonna be the cock blocking it.
Mm.
Because for lack of better words, you know I ain't shit, so I would line you up too, and you'll
Well,
become
then I could possibly be the only person that's going to get him out of that, and maybe that person is. You never know how
oh
life
oh
changes.
oh. So now you got the power of the P that's
What?
gonna make
We
me
all
change my
do.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Captain Saberho. There we
so
go.
so
Just
so
got to know how to work it. You. It don't even.
the,
It's a
Okay,
lot. It's a
Missy.
lot to this thing here.
the premise of me
Hence me being single.
the premise of me bringing the question up and bringing the scenario up, and Monica gave us some great advice, and you tried to give us some good advice, and I do believe because you gave advice based on the situation, you would have to know and be able to assess this type of man and how to be able to get him to understand what he may be doing is reckless in his eyes. I bring this up because the singer Maya, who I find to be very interesting when it comes to why she's not in the music industry no more. There's a lot of
Mhm.
allegations about her, and she said that a lot of stuff wasn't true. But one of the things that she did say is that she was in a relationship with herself. And I think that having or knowing that type of self awareness is important of being in a relationship with yourself and knowing who you are, what makes you happy, what makes you click, how you go about and being responsible to yourself is more important than anything. What are you guys' thoughts when someone says they're in a relationship with themselves?
I love it. I love
It
it.
sounds like they're doing healing work.
Yep. Yep. They are. And if somebody approaches you, that means y'all are on the same vibes. So that means you're healing, they're healing because y'all would never even connected. That's how I feel. So I
Hmm.
think it's a good thing.
Okay. Okay. Well, I
Mhm.
I
What do you think of
appreciate
that?
you guys.
Yeah, because you've been
Well,
avoided two questions.
like I said, no, I'm not avoiding anything. I think that most people need to be in a relationship with themselves. I mean, I think that you need to know who you are. Haven't like I said, and I don't want to reiterate. I believe that most of our problems, and I can speak for myself, come from a lack of self awareness, and I think that most of our success comes from being self aware. Most of us have so much going on, social media, kids, family, work, that we don't take time for ourselves. We don't even sit alone in solitude, quiet, peace, read a book, do something that makes you happy, not someone else, not the kids, not your friends, not your coworkers, not your co-host. Sometimes you need to sit back and say, what makes me happy? I explained something to Monica last night, Carm, when you had dozed off in the middle of our conversation.
Sorry.
I had explained something to Monica about learning how to manage some disappointment and how I
Mhm.
used to get upset about certain things so much where it would bother me. Where
Yes.
Yeah.
now it is what it is. And I've
Yeah.
been able
Hmm.
to accept not only people where they are, but accept that type of disappointment or things not going the way that I planned where they are. And that's very, very important for me today
And
and going forward. And then realizing, it's gonna be all right.
Yes, sir.
that's a part of maintaining your peace. And that's a part of your growth because you can't make other people do anything.
You sure can.
Coming
Nothing.
to that realization that, you know, in a relationship, okay, if the other party is like, I'm tapped out, but not acknowledging that they have tapped out, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to focus on me. And it's okay. Remain tapped out. I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to do what I need to do.
Mhm.
Fine. If you're not able to uphold your end of it, okay, that's fine. All right. I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to focus on my peace. I'm going to focus on what, like you said, what makes you happy. Because at the end of all of it, it's only you anyway.
Mm.
How hard? I'm sorry. Can I just say something real quick?
By all
Absolutely,
means.
you are part.
Um,
You are part of the show.
I know, but wait my turn and things.
It's your
Okay.
turn.
So hypothetically speaking, you are in a relationship with someone and you love this person, y'all, all of that. But then you start to feel this fallback from this person, right? You already know, you can feel it. But
Mhm.
they're not admitting to it, right? And then you say, okay, well, go ahead and just focus on you because I'm gonna do me. But y'all still living in the same house. That is not, is that healthy?
No,
Is it healthy for you to let this person or you, Q, or me, Carm, like to just stay in this person's energy, knowing that they don't rock
Monica,
with
would
you
you
like
like
that,
to answer first?
been
without
there, done that.
blaming them though, without blaming them. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I would handle that differently now.
Right. Oh, Carmen, they coming to get you.
That ain't me. That ain't me.
They coming to get somebody.
That ain't me. Wait a minute.
But um, it's no, it's not healthy. If there's kids involved, if there's kids not involved, it's not healthy because on the inside, the outside is affected. Or maybe I said that backwards. Yeah, the inside, the outside affects the inside. So I don't think that it is necessarily a healthy ordeal to, try to remain in there. Hey, let's sit down, let's have a conversation. If we're feeling like it's not going to flourish, or then let's make a plan of action. If you sit down and there is a plan of action, okay, well, we're gonna track and adjust, and we're going to see if this is going to improve, or if it's not going to improve, then we need to come together and make a resolve.
Yeah, I'll be like, listen,
You gotta go,
you know
bro.
what I
Love,
know.
love. I'll answer. I'll give you guys my perspective on it. Love is two things. Love is a process, and love is an action. You don't love, you don't fall in love overnight, and you don't fall out of love overnight.
That's true.
With that being an action, is that you have to nurture it. Um, if you are in that type of situation, you and like you said, Carm, you want to take the accountability solely on yourself. You
Yeah.
need to do what you need to do to foster that love, whether
Mm,
it's flowers, whether it's a card, whether for a female walking around with some boy booty shorts on, do whatever, whether it's physical, whether it's gifts, whether it's everything, and vice versa for the man. He needs to do everything he needs to do if he wants that love to foster it, because it was a process falling in love, and trust me, it will be a process falling out of love. It will be no sex, it will be no dinner, it will be no clean house, it will be no clean clothes, it will be the lack of bills getting paid on time. It will be little small telltale signs that will go away, because all those things is a part of building love, trust, uh, a relationship if they, married, live together, whatever. So falling out, all those small little things will become
Huge.
huge in keeping it together or destroying it. Like a house. A house is built, the first thing they do is they put the right cornerstone in. It's the foundation.
mm.
And then they build it from the ground up.
Q,
I
I
So
love
love
you
that.
so
no. He
you have
I,
to foster it.
so can I like summarize everything you just said? Because I was trying to hold on to it, but I don't want to cut you off,
Go
but I
ahead.
don't want to lose it either. Love is like faith, right? Without the works is dead. If you don't, like you said, if you don't put forth all of those works, if you don't pour into the love plan, if you don't, like you said, you get that new house, and you want to start decorating it and putting the things in it. If you don't start putting the love into it, if you don't start putting into it, like feeding it, then it's just going to be an empty house. It's going to be an empty vessel. It's just going to be two souls standing next to each other. It's really not even souls. It's going to be two bodies. You got to put forth the works. You can't just fall off, because when you fall off, then that's when the plant is going to wither. That's when you're going to notice the plant is becoming discolored. That's when the house becomes dilapidated. That's when you start noticing your vehicles. Now you got a flat tire. Now your headlight is out.
Come on.
You gotta put all of that into it.
True.
And I'm a very metaphorical person, so I had to get that out before I lost it. But that's truly how to surmise what love is. It's equivalent to faith. Just as much as you have faith that that person is going to love you back, you got to put that love in. You got to put that work into it. Just like, yo, she's bad. Look at that ass. Yo, I want that. How do you get that? You open it up with communication. You don't let a day go by without talking to that person. You don't let a day go by or an hour go by without texting you. Hey, I saw what you was wearing on your way out. Yo, hurry up, get home, because I want that when I get back. Like, it's that type of stuff. But when you notice that it's dwindling, when you notice that it's falling off, hey, hello, my plants, my leaves is they falling. I'm getting withered, and you got to communicate. You got to all of that. It all culminates.
Have you in a situation where that love be earth shattering, huh?
Bruh.
Definitely.
What did Omarion said? It's an ice box. It's an ice box where my heart used to be. Like, come on, man, chip away at the ice. Do what you need to do. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Absolutely.
But some people just don't have it. They want it so bad, but they can't even pour that within themselves. Esteem yourself. Look, like I said, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror. How much faith, how much work, how much love can I pour into myself?
But and it goes back to, and I hate to rehash, because we're so far along in the show, is understanding the individual who does believe that they check all the boxes, having that fear of dying alone, because the older you get, the more you start to realize your mortality. And being able to be in love and grasp a sense of happiness within yourself is a very interesting, and even fostering the love in yourself. You're in love with yourself, you're in a relationship with yourself. I know for most people it sounds crazy to sit there in a relationship with yourself, but you do have to be in a relationship with yourself and understanding what makes you happy.
Me too.
And to be able to foster that. So I appreciate you guys. Very, very interesting conversation. I hope that anyone watching will get as much out of it as I know we did. I know one of the things that we do is we have very interesting relationship behind the scenes, and I think that it's only going to get better, as well as what we present to the world with spontaneous perspectives going forward, and then you guys personal ventures that you guys are working on, as well as with Let's Talk and other things. So is it any final thoughts, you guys?
Yep, but I want Carmen to go first.
Come on, Monica, go ahead. You're ready. I'm not.
All right, bet. Okay, so another perspective, like you were talking about, people getting close to the age of mortality and not wanting to die alone. The other perspective is, what legacy do you want to leave behind? Instead of just looking at the fact that you're being, alone or whatever. Like that just kind of crossed my mind. Like how, instead of looking at life so negatively, like, dang, I don't want to die alone. Think about the legacy that you would leave behind when it's your time. What legacy do you want to leave behind? Because your life is supposed to help somebody. So you're a light, you're a beacon to somebody. So, okay, fine. If you're alone, how do you want to influence those who you came into contact with.
Mm.
And on that note, I just wanted to say thank you for this platform because it is very healing. It is very helpful. And like, share, and subscribe. But go ahead, Carm. It's on you, sis.
Oh, oh, no. Um, my final thoughts would be to slow down. Slow down your thinking, slow down your thoughts, and embrace every moment. Pay attention to yourself, um, because anything worth having, what's the rest? I forgot the rest. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Anything worth
It's worth
having
working
is.
for,
Mhm.
right? So you can do it. We can do this. Togetherness is what it's all about. Focus on yourself. Pay attention to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge whatever it is you got to acknowledge. See it, recognize it, try to fix it, and move on.
In closing, my final thought would be it encompasses everything that these young ladies said in understanding, being self aware, and understanding who you are, what you are, where you're going, what's your execution, what's your plan, and how and what ways you want to execute your plan. And even if you are in a relationship with yourself, you got to nurture it. You can't just say, I'm going to work, I'm a nice looking guy or female, I'm in my middle age, and I'm alone. Look at yourself and say you're alone for a reason. It doesn't have to be a bad reason. It
Nurture
could be
yourself.
just a reason that your prince or princess has not came along yet. And don't define who you are based off your relationship status. With that, remember, like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for joining us for Spontaneous Perspective Volume 2: Relationships, Trust, Integrity, Honor. And we out.
Do